Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to announce a secret that has the potential to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. It's a habit so powerful, so profound, that once you hold it, you'll unlock a supply of untapped potential within yourself. A potential that will propel you to heights beyond your wildest imagination. You see, in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to succumb to the pressures and demands of daily life. But amidst the chaos, there exists a habit, a simple yet profound practice that has the power to set you apart from the crowd, to elevate you to a level of success and fulfillment that few ever attain. What is this habit, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you, it's the habit of insert habit here. Now, you might be wondering what makes this habit so special. The answer lies in its transformative power, its ability to shape your thoughts, actions, and ultimately your destiny. So as we go on board together today, I urge you to open your mind and your heart to the possibility of adopting this powerful habit. Allow yourself to imagine the extraordinary impact it can have on your life, the doors it can open, the opportunities it can create, the dreams it can turn into reality. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the power of habit. Now let's enter on and discover the incredible potential that lies within each and every one of us to become truly powerful beyond belief. The journey to success is not a light stroll, but a challenging voyage that requires the unwavering commitment to follow the path of discipline. With each step, we draw closer not only to our goals, but also to the best version of ourselves. Discipline is not a shackle that confines us, but the wings that lift us to unforeseen heights. It is the beacon that illuminates our path in the dark nights of uncertainty, steadfastly guiding us to the safe shores of success. In the annals of history, we find tales of giants whose achievements echoed through the ages. Behind every monumental feat, we discover the indelible footprint of discipline, forging legends that inspire and challenge all those who aspire to greatness. So today, in this sacred space of reflection, I invite each of you to embrace discipline as the catalyst for your own destiny. May every act of self-discipline be a brick that builds the bridge between your dreams and the reality you yearn to achieve on this journey of discovery and conquest. Let us always remember that discipline is not just a means to an end, but a loyal companion on the extraordinary journey that is life. With it by our side, we become architects of our destiny, sculpting success with the mastery of those who understand that greatness is the result of sustained discipline. May this discourse be the spark that ignites the flame of discipline in every present heart. And together, let us forge a future where success is the resounding echo of our efforts. Several years ago, I met a renowned authority in personal development, Cop Meager. This expert uncovered principles of success, and by the time I met him, he had published 4 books, each containing 250 of these principles. I asked him which one he considered the most important, and he immediately said it was discipline, which he defined as the ability to force yourself to do what you should at the moment you should, whether you like the idea or not. After interviewing 500 of the wealthiest people in the United States, Napoleon Hill also concluded that discipline was the key to becoming rich. Tom Zick, the famous sales coach, once said, "Success depends on tons of discipline." Jim Rohn said, "Discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons." Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard University concluded that long-term perspective was the key to social and economic ascent. Over 50 years of research, Banfield found that people who achieved great success were able to delay short-term gratification to enjoy even greater rewards in the long term. The key word in this concept is sacrifice. Therefore, saving and investing in the present is essential for economic success in the future. Personal discipline involves being able to control yourself, to master yourself, to eat the main course first and dessert last. But beware, this does not mean you cannot have enjoyable experiences, but rather that you should only try to live them once you have done hard and necessary work, and after finishing all your essential tasks. The reward for observing personal discipline comes immediately. Every time you force yourself to do the right thing, whether you like it or not, you will like yourself more, and you will respect yourself more. Your self-esteem will increase. The image you have of yourself will improve, and your brain will release endorphins that will make you feel happy and proud. In fact, every time you force yourself to comply and do the right thing, you will receive rewards. Best of all, discipline is a habit that you can also learn through practice and repetition. As I mentioned earlier, to develop a medium complexity habit, you need to perform the action for 21 days without fail. Sometimes you can form a habit faster, but other times it takes longer. It all depends on you, on how determined you are. A few years ago, a businessman named Herbert Gray began to investigate and search for what he called the common denominator of success. He interviewed successful people for 11 years and eventually concluded that it was people who formed the habit of doing what mediocre people did not do. It turns out that successful people don't like doing those things either, but they force themselves to do them because they realize that's the price they must pay if they want to succeed. Rich DeBoss, co-founder of Amway, once said, "There are many things in life that I don't like doing, such as finding new customers or selling and spending nights and weekends building a business. Nevertheless, I do them because that's the only way I can later do the things I truly enjoy." Every time you exercise your personal discipline, you strengthen all your other positive qualities. And similarly, if you are weak in discipline, the weakness spreads to all other areas of your personality. Ladies and gentlemen, let's enter on 7 disciplines that hold the power to elevate every aspect of your life, disciplines that you can bring on within yourself. First and foremost is the discipline of clear thinking. Thomas Edison once remarked that thinking was the most challenging discipline of all, a sentiment echoed by many throughout history. Indeed, there exists a spectrum of individuals, those who actively engage in deep thinking, those who believe they do, and those who shy away from the mental exertion it demands. Take a moment to ponder the pivotal issues and dilemmas in your life. Carve out extended periods to do so, be it 30, 60, or 90 minutes. As the great Peter Drucker noted, hasty decisions often lead to regrettable outcomes. Instead, deliberate over your family, career, finances, and other fundamental aspects with utmost care. Sit quietly, embrace solitude, and allow your thoughts to roam freely. Aristotle famously stated, "Wisdom is the combination of experience and reflection. The deeper your contemplation, the richer the insights you glean from your experiences." Regular periods of solitude activate your superconsciousness and awaken intuition, guiding you towards clarity and resolution. Consider maintaining a journal, jotting down the intricacies of your challenges. Sometimes, the act of articulating your thoughts on paper can display solutions. Engage in activities like walking or exercise for 30 to 60 minutes. They foster clarity of thought and bolster decision-making prowess. Additionally, look for counsel from a trusted confidant, someone detached from the emotional entanglements of your predicament. A fresh perspective can often illuminate new pathways and redefine your understanding of the situation. Always challenge assumptions. Ask yourself, what am I assuming? What assumptions underpin my perspective on this situation? By scrutinizing these underlying beliefs, you open the door to overwhelming insights and transformative growth. Alec McKenzie, a time management specialist, once wrote, "Wrong assumptions are the origin of all failures." What are your assumptions? What situations do you assume to be true? What if you were wrong? What if you are acting based on false information? Always remain open to the possibility of being wrong in the course you have taken. Open your mind to the idea of doing something different, completely different, to the possibility of not knowing all the facts as you thought, or at least that not all the facts are true and correct. The second discipline that will help you succeed is to set a goal every day. This practice has transformed my life and the lives of thousands of people. Now that you know that focus and concentration are essential aspects of success, start by asking yourself, what do I really want to do with my life? Ask yourself this question again and again until you have a clear answer. Imagine you have $20 million in cash, but you only have 10 years left to live. What would you change immediately? Imagine that nothing limits you. Imagine that you have a magic wand that gives you access to all the time, money, education, experience, and contacts. What would you do? I'll give you an exercise. Buy a notebook and write in it every day. Write down 10 goals in PPP format, positive, present, and personal. Start each goal with the word I, followed by an action verb. You could write, for example, I earn X amount of dollars by such date. Every day before starting the day, rewrite your top 10 goals in the present tense, as if you had already achieved them, and only rewrite the goals on a new piece of paper without looking at the previous one. In other words, rewrite them from memory. Watch how they develop and change over time. And as you rewrite them, many people tell me that this discipline of setting goals every day has changed their lives faster than they imagined. Once I gave a talk in Galveston, Texas, and the person who introduced me stood up and said, I have to tell you about my experience with Tracy. Then he took out a notebook and continued. When I met him, he told me to write down my goals every day, and I started doing it immediately. That completely changed my life, he explained, waving the notebook in the air. I achieved all the goals I wrote down. I had never done anything so powerful in my life. Do it. It's an excellent discipline. The third discipline is to manage your time daily. Every minute spent planning saves 10 in execution. The more you plan, the more you will make the most of your time and the more you will achieve. Imagine this. If you spend between 10 and 12 minutes every morning planning your day because that's all it would take, you would save 120 minutes that you could use to achieve your goals. That is 2 hours daily. This represents a 25% increase in productivity, and all as a result of planning your day early. Start by making a list of everything you will do. The best time to write the list is the night before, because that way your subconscious can work on it while you sleep. Organize the list by priorities. Before you start working, review it and analyze everything you have to do. Define what is most and least important. Practice the 80-20 rule, which says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. What are the most valuable activities and tasks? Use the ABCD method to establish priorities. You already know that this method is based on taking into account the consequences of doing or not doing a particular task. Let's recap. An A task is something you must do without fail because not completing it could have serious consequences. A B task is something you should do. Not completing it only entails mild consequences. A C task is something nice to do, but it doesn't really matter whether you do it or not. A D task is something you delegate, and you know you should delegate as many tasks as possible. Finally, an E task is something you eliminate, so eliminate everything you can to free up as much time as possible. Once you have written A, B, C, D, or E next to your tasks, organize the list by A1, A2, A3, and then B1, B2, B3, etc. Early in the morning, start with task A1, and from that moment on, form the discipline of focusing absolutely on it until it is completed. The discipline of managing time well extends to all other forms of personal discipline and has immediate rewards because it gives you better results, as well as long-term satisfaction in terms of the quality of your life and work. The fourth is the discipline of courage. This requires you to do what you should to face your fears instead of avoiding or evading them. As I mentioned earlier, the greatest obstacle to success is the fear of failure, which is expressed in that feeling that makes you say, I can't, I can't. Courage is a habit that is developed by practicing it whenever necessary. Emerson said, do what you fear, and your fear will surely die. Make a habit of confronting your fears instead of avoiding them. Every time you face and approach it, especially if it involves another person, group, or situation, fear diminishes, and you become braver and bolder. Actor Glenn Ford once said, if you don't do what you fear, fear will control your life. Repeat these words to yourself. I can do it, I can do it. Do it over and over until you gather enough courage and confidence in yourself. This phrase will nullify your fears. The fifth discipline serves to develop high-level health habits. Your goal should be to live 100 years with impeccable health. Design and imagine your ideal body. How would it look if it were perfect in every way? This will be your goal. The key to health and fitness can be summed up in 5 words: eat less and exercise more. Develop the discipline of exercising every day. Even if you can only take a short walk, it's best to exercise in the morning, as soon as you wake up and before you have time to think about it. Jump out of bed and get moving. If you do it for 21 days, it will become part of your daily routine for the rest of your life. What I do is leave my workout clothes next to my bed. That way, when I wake up, I practically fall onto them, get dressed, and start moving before I have time to think about it. Give it a try. The sixth discipline is regular saving and investing, 2 topics I've already talked about. Decide today to get out of debt. Stay that way and achieve financial independence. Make the decision and stop longing, waiting, and praying. Just do it. Your goal and everyone else's should be to achieve financial independence as soon as possible in their lives. This requires continuous financial discipline that you must exercise with every dollar you earn. I insist, the key is to save 10, 15, or even 20% of your income throughout your life. If you're already in debt, start by saving 1% of what you earn and form the discipline of living on the remaining 99% until it becomes a habit. Form the discipline of living with what's left. It is essential that you change the way you think. Stop saying to yourself, I love to spend, and start saying, I love to save. When you were a child and were given money, you probably went out into the street to buy sweets. Although you are now an adult, you are still conditioned by that childish behavior. And that's why every time you receive money, you think about going out and buying the adult sweets, a trip, clothes, a car, a meal at a fancy restaurant. If you ask people what they would do if they had a mountain of money, most of them say, I would go to such a place and do such and such, spend on this and that. The first reaction is, I would spend it all. Change your way of thinking, move from, I like to spend to, I love to save. I love to keep money in my account. I'm fascinated to see my money multiply and accumulate every month. Soon your mindset will change and you will start thinking like successful and wealthy people do. The seventh discipline is that of continuous learning. Remember that to earn more, you have to learn more. Jim Rohn said the famous phrase, work on yourself as much as you work for your boss. Personal development is fundamental. So read texts about your field for 30 to 60 minutes every day. This will translate into 1 book a week and 50 books a year. Listen to audio programs in your car when you go from one place to another. This will add between 500 and 1,000 hours a year. Attend seminars and take courses from experts in your field. A brilliant idea you hear in a course could save you years of intense work. Persistence equals personal discipline. The greatest test of personal discipline is persistence in the face of adversity. You can force yourself to complete your tasks no matter how you feel. Courage has 2 parts. The first is the courage itself to start a project, to get something going despite not having a guarantee of success. The second part is the courage to endure, to persist when you feel discouraged and tired and want to give up. Your persistence represents how much or how little you believe in yourself and your ability to succeed. This means that the more you believe in the goodness and suitability of what you do, the more persistent you will be. The more you persist, the more you will tend to believe in yourself and what you do. Napoleon Hill said, for a man or woman's character, persistence is what coal is to steel. Every time you persist, despite feeling like quitting, you become a stronger and more solid person because you take control of your own character. And over time, you become unstoppable. As we draw this discussion to a close, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder. The habit we've explored today has the potential to release a level of power and potential within you that you may never have imagined possible. By adopting this habit, by making it an integral part of your daily routine, you're tapping into a supply of strength, resilience, and determination that knows no bounds. But remember, true power doesn't come from external sources. It comes from within. It's about raising the right mindset, adopting the right habits, and taking consistent action towards your goals. As you board ship of self-discovery and growth, I urge you to stay committed, stay focused, and never lose sight of the incredible potential that lies within you. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the power of habit. Now, armed with this knowledge and insight, go forth and adopt the habit that will make you truly powerful beyond belief. The world is yours for the taking. Seize it with all the strength and determination you possess. Going away, and may your journey be filled with endless possibilities and abundant success.